Greetings, everyone, and we're happy to be back with you again at this GatherVerse Founder Summit 2023. Today, to kick things off, we have Ruth Diaz, psychologist, therapist, XR advocate, and friend. Welcome.
Hi, Christopher. Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning and good day for where everyone may be at. We're happy to be able to join with you for these few minutes as we kick things off. Ruth, I want to start this approach, being that we're talking about a founder summit. I want to get into not only the psychology of DEI and XR, which is so important, especially in this particular time where we're now adjusting ourselves to communicating with machines in ways that we've never taken this step before, both in an auditory sense, a visual sense, and overall a cognitive sense. Ruth, you're doing deep study work right now, incredible work, and I've known this to be true for some years now. Share with us from your lens, why is this important that we're having this particular discussion at Founder Summit right now?
I have so much to say on this, and I am first wanting to put out that the psychology of DEI and XR is about exactly what GatherVerse is. It's about coming together and creating integrated empathy. It's about reshaping our identity to understand and include more awareness from the perspectives around us, and not even the ones that are in the room, the ones that are across the world. How do we connect to each other better through this technology? And diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, is that purposeful work of finding ways to understand what's different from me. And for a Founders Summit, I'm very honored to be here and kick this off with you. I find that the people gathering with GatherVerse are intentional about how we're using this technology. And that is the same with Liminal XR, my startup. And I have a dream team working with me, creating experiences where you truly can walk through the life and the perspective of someone not like you.
Indeed. We're heading into the audience there. I know that all of us now have been having our interactions with these generative pre-trained transformers, these large language foundational models, AI, if you will, regenerative AI. And we've never seen technology introduced at this rapid pace. In fact, I would say that the tempo and the cadence of technology has accelerated. And what it tends to do is not just accelerate as a single vertical, as we know, Ruth, but it affects every other technology within the eco-habitat itself, including XR for audience that's out there, extended reality. We have our extended reality community in droves with us now. When we think about where we're headed, the XR of today or yesterday is fundamentally different from the XR that we are about to see much more sooner than any of us have imagined from just our common avatar that we've been looking at for some time. We're heading into hyper-realism in a major way, and we're interacting with these devices, these machines that are backing up these hyper-realistic, immersive simulated avatars, these people, these Kodak avatars, if you will. What is it about the psychology and the greater ethos of this, Ruth, that we're looking at when we're interacting with this, and what role does Liminal play in this discovery?
So when you mention AI, what comes to mind is that the things that we've thought that we are softening and diversifying and expanding. The things we think we know, we're learning more quicker and faster. And so both AI and I believe XR is an invitation to go inward and discover more about who I am and the unique perspective and diversity I bring, so that I can connect with who you are as a human being and that unique perspective and experience that you bring. We can continue to find our humanity by going inward. And liminal XR, liminal as a word means the in-between. Not here, not there, whatever's in between that place. And what it does for me as a word is it brings me back to the present moment, to our connection, to the possibility that we're going to grow through whatever this moment is that's happening and learn how to build better bridges together.
Can I be candid with you, Ruth,
Please.
when it comes to this discussion with just the few minutes that we have, because it moves so fast and you and I can go the distance, can't we?
We can.
I have a real concern about these generative models that are being developed and deployed. I have a real concern about this incredible hyperrealism when it comes to simulated fidelity and environments. My concern is that there's not enough communities of color, there's not enough women leadership, there's not enough culture. No matter your gender, no matter your culture, no matter your background, there's just not enough democratized access of cultural contribution around the world for people to be able to contribute to the development of these platforms. And I have a real concern about that, because these platforms are the same platforms that people are expected to adopt. And we know that it's limited. But this is different from just dealing with products. We're dealing with applied science. Have we done enough to be able to ingress more culture infusion into product delivery contemporary to our time?
I mean, I feel clear that the answer is urgently no. We have not done enough to bring culture from every direction into the content that AI is working off of. There's an urgency there for both of us, that the representation is going the other direction. There's linear and homogenized viewpoints that are starting to cycle in our social media that is the opposite of representation and diversity. So this is the calling of this work. And so Liminal creates these experiences in immersive and mixed reality to help us remember how to prioritize bringing those other perspectives and feeding these super intelligent machines with that information.
Ruth, I know you did some study, and thank you so much for sharing what you just said. With the finality of this very short discussion, that we're packing so much information into these 3 little hours that we have all together here at GatherVerse. And audience, feel free to, for those that are in our YouTube huddle over there, do we have enough culture integrated into XR, into AI? Because there's some that may be exhausted in hearing this discussion, but the reality is that this impacts each and every one of us in profound and in very systemic ways. Ruth, when I think about generative art and motion and this inherent communication that we're communicating with these models that are being able to take the very things that are in our minds and depict them so clearly in ways that we've never psychologically have dealt with mentally, briefly, what early impact are you discovering this relationship between human and AI model?
I would say that AI is another mirror of us as human beings, and how much I am willing to look through that mirror and seek out the information that is representative of the beyond my understanding, that makes me curious in the world, that shows me the gaps and the missing places where I need to amplify voices and substitute for that AI. That is the calling of this moment.
Indeed. Ruth, we're always happy to have you, and we certainly are grateful to share in community with us. Audience, for you that are with us today, we have an incredible panel of brilliant minds and heart power that we've assembled that's coming right up. We thank you for staying with us, and we have a lot of journey to go and ground to cover.
Julia Scott is next, Dr. Scott, neurodiversity, and really incredible work. So I just wanted to give her a shout out.